Hello, this session we will talk about another case study of fraud in scientific research. We're going to talk about an article published in Electrochimica Acta, volume 52, year 2007, titled The Inhibition of Low Carbon Steel Corrosion in Hydrochloric Acid Solutions by Succinic Acids. Several electrochemical and chemical techniques has been used in this article, as the authors claimed. Weight loss, polarization, electrochemical impedance spectroscopy, and the potential of zero charge, EDX, and scanning electron microscopes. I claim that all the data presented in this article are fake, and I will give a clear evidence and a crystal clear proof about that. This article has three types of techniques. The first one is weight loss technique. This is results of this technique. Also we have polarization technique, and the third technique is electrochemical impedance spectroscopy. We're gonna start with each technique, and we will give example about how the data in this article has been forged. Let's start with TAFL with weight loss technique, as in figure 1. We will get the data of figure 1 from another file here. This is the same article, the same file in Word format, including also figures. As we can see, these are figures presented in the article. We can compare them. This is figure 1 and this is figure 1 in the article. This figure 1 in the file submitted to the editor. If we double click on the file that has been submitted to the editor, an origin program will open the data file. As we can see here, this is figure 1, weight loss measurement, relationship between immersion time and weight loss. Immersion time is 0 hours until 8 hours, and we follow with this time the change in weight loss. We have 10 concentrations. As we can see here, we have 10 straight lines. The points on the straight lines, as we can see, is too good to be experimental, and we in each straight line we have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, about 16 points. Let us examine this figure, if it is real experimental data or fake experimental data. Simply we will find the table that has been used to draw this data. It is a relationship between x-axis and 10 y-axis. First y-axis represents the Planck, then second y-axis represents the first concentration of the succinic acids, and so on until we get the 10th y-axis. We will examine these data by taking a copy from the y-axis here and put it in a program called Sigma plot. We will do a simple mass calculations, and we will put the results in column 11. If we divide column 1, which represent y1, by column 2, which represent y2, we will get a constant value 1.0632, and this value repeated for the 16 point on each curve. This means that the author, to get the first concentration, he multiply the Planck by this constant 1.0632 to get the first concentration. And to get the second concentration, if we divide column 1 divide by column 3, we will get also a constant value 1.1583. This constant value multiplied by the Planck to get the second concentration of the inhibitor. It means that all the data in this figure are fake. We have only one values of the blank, and we multiply these values by a constant to get the other 10 or the other 9 concentrations of the succinic acid. It means that all the data in this figure, in figure 1, are fake data. This is an example of how the author here forged the data of weight loss measurement. If you go back to the article, we will find the same behavior in figure 1 has been repeated in figure 2 and figure 3. This is very clear from the similarity of the figures. Also, if we try to examine the data of Tafel technique or polarization technique, as in figure 6 or figure 7, we will get one of these figures from the Word file that we got. For example, if we try to examine the figure 6, this is figure 6. This is figure 6, and we have here figure 6. We have here figure 6, and we have this figure 6 in the article. If we double click on figure 6 here, we will open the origin program with the data of figure 6. As we can see here, we have 7 graphs. We have 7 curves here, each curve represented by x1, y1, x2, y2, until we go to the 6th graph or the 6th curve, x7, y7. To examine these data, either these data are fake or true experimental data, we will take an example here. We will copy x-axis for these graphs until, for example, 6 graphs. We will copy them, we'll paste them in the Sigma plot program, and we will try the simple math calculation here. We will put the results in column 9, divide x1 by x2. The quotient here 1.355, 1.1355, 1.1355. This value is repeated how many times? Repeated 101 times. The same value repeated 101 times. This means that each graph here has 101 points, and this point has used multiplied by a constant to get the second curve or the second concentration, and the first curve multiplied by a constant also to get the third, until we get 7 curves. We can confirm that if we divide column 1 by column, for example 4, we will get in all cases a constant value, in this case 1.2068, and this value repeated for the 101 points on the curve. This it means that all the values or the curves in this figure are fake. The author fabricated them by multiplying one curve in a constant, and by changing this constant we get 7 concentration or 7 curves here. This is a clear evidence that the data here are completely fake. If you go back to the article again and try to see another technique, for example electrochemical impedance spectroscopy, as we can see here, is very clear that they are multiplied, one curve multiplied by a constant to get the other curves. We can confirm that if we open one of these files, as we can see here, all the files, it is very clear here. Actually it is very clear, we don't need to do that. This curve, the number of points is the same, it's just changed or just moved by multiplying figure 1 in a constant to get figure 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. The same behavior taken in weight loss and polarization have been repeated in EIS technique. The conclusion is all the data in this article are fake, the same as several cases we studied before in this channel. Thank you very much.